At the beginning, we see a man who can barely hold a gun taking an entire hospital hostage. Surprisingly, the hostages don't resist, they cooperate peacefully and even start a tea party. When a white man tries to stand up against the kidnapper, he is beaten down by the other hostages. Even those released have nothing but praise for the kidnapper. What's going on here? The kidnapper, named John, was once part of a happy family of 3. But things took a turn when his workplace suddenly cut wages, and John couldn't make his car loan payments, leading to his car being repossessed, much to his wife's dismay. John tried to find a part-time job to earn some extra cash, but faced stiff competition with over 400 applicants for a single position, and unfortunately he didn't get the job. Then a tragic event struck. John's son collapsed during a baseball game and was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered that the boy's heart was 3 times the size of a normal heart for his age, indicating a severe congenital heart condition that required an immediate heart transplant to save his life. The news devastated John and his wife. Despite the high risk of surgery, John was determined to proceed, but was shocked by the astronomical cost of the operation, a minimum of $250,000. To get on the transplant list, a 30% down payment was needed up front, amounting to $75,000. With only less than $1,000 in savings, John was at a loss on how to raise such a sum. A compassionate nurse suggested that John check with his insurance company or apply for medical aid through the Children's Welfare Bureau. However, his insurance company informed him that his policy did not cover such surgery, offering a maximum of only $20,000. Attempts to secure a loan from the bank or to apply for medical aid were fruitless due to eligibility issues, leaving John infuriated.
My son is dying, I'm broke. I don't qualify, who the hell does? I'm sorry. I don't need you to be sorry, I need you to help me.
Considering an appeal against the insurance company, John was told it would take 30 days for a decision, time his son did not have. After borrowing money and selling all valuable possessions, he was still far from the required $75,000. An attempt to seek help through a radio station ended in vain after he was asked to leave a contact number and never heard back. Desperate, John sold his wedding ring for a mere $90. On the day he sold his truck, John received a call from his wife at the hospital. They were being kicked out due to unpaid medical bills. Desperate, John pleaded with the attending physician to perform the surgery and promised to pay back the cost over time. However, the doctor explained that he had no control over such decisions, and the hospital was unwilling to proceed. In a moment of anger and desperation, John pulled out a gun, terrifying the doctor into agreeing to perform the surgery. John then secured the emergency room doors with chains, took control of the area with his gun, and herded everyone else into the lobby. This was a statement no patient expected to hear, but was unanimously approved by those present.
All right, hey, the hospital's under new management now. Yeah, from now on, free health care for everybody. How's that?
Despite taking the hospital hostage, John's sole intention was to get treatment for his son with no plans to harm anyone. He guided lost visitors, mediated disputes among couples, and even ensured immediate surgery for a gunshot victim, marking one of the most efficient treatments in the hospital's history. Before long, the sound of police sirens approached, and a multitude of police cars soon surrounded the hospital. The chief of police made contact with John via radio to ask his demands, to which John simply wished for his son to be placed on the transplant list. As the hostages grew hungry, John generously paid for food and drinks for everyone. As everyone relaxed and conversed, John couldn't help but wonder why his son's congenital heart condition wasn't detected at birth. A doctor revealed the grim reality. Some insurance companies pay doctors to avoid certain tests to cut costs. Soon the police commissioner arrived. Seeing the media frenzy, felt compelled to make a public display to justify his position. John, in a call with the police chief, inquired about the status of the transplant list. The chief suggested releasing some hostages as a sign of goodwill. John agreed but insisted his son's name be added to the list within an hour, threatening to start killing hostages otherwise. John chose a pregnant woman and a mother with a child for release. As he was about to let them go, a white man attempted to attack John and stabbed him in the shoulder with a pen, leading to a scuffle. The other hostages defended John and beat the attacker. John then released the hostages to the waiting press. To ensure the hostages' safety, the commissioner called in a sniper, ready to take drastic action if necessary. The hospital administration insisted that John's demands must not be met, fearing it would set a dangerous precedent. Reporters brought John's friends, hoping they could influence him. As the deadline approached, the commissioner, fearing for the hostages' safety and his own position, decided on a forceful intervention, leading to a heated argument with the police chief, who was then suspended on the spot. The air conditioning was shut off, and the sniper moved in through the ventilation system. At this moment, John received a call from his wife, unaware that the police were monitoring everything. Meanwhile, a hacker from a radio station broke into the police system and broadcasted the surveillance live. Moved by John's conversation with his son, the hospital administrator was brought to tears. The sniper reached his position, and the commissioner ordered him to shoot. John appeared to fall, but as the commissioner sighed in relief, John opened his eyes, disarmed the sniper, and subdued him with a barrage of punches. The commissioner panicked, especially after learning that their actions were being broadcasted live nationwide. After restraining the sniper and receiving first aid for his arm wound from a doctor, John emerged to a crowd of supporters outside the hospital who hailed him as a hero. John requested to meet with the police chief, leaving the commissioner no choice but to seek the chief's help in resolving the situation. John presented the bound sniper, demanding his son in exchange. Amidst cheers, his son was brought in and the sniper was released. The doctor informed John that even if his son's life was saved without a suitable heart, a transplant couldn't proceed. However, unknown to the doctor, John had already made a heart-wrenching decision. He planned to donate his own heart to his son. This shocking revelation left everyone stunned.
Man, that means you'll be dead.
And my son will live.
I don't understand. Physically, you can't do this.
Yes, I can. I kill myself. You open me up, you take my heart off.
The doctor tried to find reasons to dissuade John, but at this moment John's only thought was to save his son. The crowd was divided. Some admired his bravery, while others urged him to face reality.
No, I don't accept that. Ever. No, I reject that out of hand. I mean, look.
The doctor still disagreed.
What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot me if I don't operate? No. I'm gonna kill myself.
In a desperate move, John pointed the gun at his own head, attempting to convince the doctor of his resolve. When the doctor tried to intervene, John placed the gun in his mouth, ready to commit suicide in the hospital so his heart could be transplanted into his son. The doctor was moved by John's determination.
All right, I'll do it if that's what you want.
A nurse stepped forward, trying to calm the doctor down.
What are they gonna do? Sue me? Disbar me? Evict me from the country club?
Before his planned suicide, John went to his son's room, removed the arm sling, and made his final farewell to his son.
You always listen to your mother. You understand? When you say you're gonna do something, you do it. And you stay away from the bad things, son. Please. There's so many great things out there. I'm always with you. I love you, son.
After kissing his son and struggling to leave him, a miracle occurred. A fax arrived at the hospital announcing a compatible heart donation for his son. The doctor rushed out with the paperwork. Meanwhile, John, in the operating room, emptied the gun of bullets, revealing he never intended to harm anyone. The gun had been unloaded from the start. As John pointed the unloaded gun at himself, his wife, having received the news, tried to reach him via the intercom. Fearing his wife's intervention might deter him, John turned off the intercom and aimed the gun at his head again. His wife, clutching the paperwork, desperately raced towards him. Just before John could pull the trigger, his wife reached the window in time. The helicopter delivered the heart, the hostages were released, and John surrendered on his knees. The police chief realized the man being arrested wasn't John, but chose to smile silently, not making any announcement. John watched from outside the operating room as his son underwent surgery. The procedure was a success. Despite not harming any hostages, the act of taking the hospital hostage had serious repercussions, and John was ultimately taken away by the police. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.